Hi everyone, my name is Juno. I have a health science background and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is an MBTI analysis of Beyoncé Knowles and Shawn Carter's relationship. I think it's a good idea to look at these celebrity couples and learn from their strengths and weaknesses and apply that to our own relationships to have healthier ones. So if we look at Beyonce, I would type her as a sensor perceiver. In other words, at a very early age, she was interested in entertainment. So she's a singer, a songwriter, dancer, actress, and she started performing when she was only 9 years old, and she won a lot of contests. So her parents, seeing that, really encouraged her and also support her throughout the formative years, so that she could be obviously as successful as she is right now. But also, she's the type of person who's interested in business. So she has ventured into entrepreneurship and she's doing very well. I mean, her net worth right now is like what, $450 million. So that really, I think that point to someone who's a sensor perceiver, especially the fact that she did not pursue higher studies. You'll see a lot of sensor perceivers are very sort of street smart. So after, let's say, they've finished maybe high school, they will go into the workplace, or in the case of Beyonce, start a career very early on and becoming a performer and also a business owner. So the other point also is, I would say that Beyonce comes across as a feminine energy. In other words, she's right brain dominant. There's a softness and sort of like she seems to come from the heart. She's interested also in charitable work. That also points to someone who is obviously more kind, and there's a softness to her. The other point also is that the fact that she is so comfortable on stage and being the center of attention, she probably is an extrovert. So in other words, she gets energized by being around other people. When it comes to Shawn Carter, and obviously he's known as Jay-Z, I would say that also he's a sensor perceiver. So at the early age, he actually didn't even finish high school. He decided to become a singer-songwriter. He's obviously a rapper, but also he's a business owner. He's a producer. I mean, he's wearing so many hats. It's very incredible. He's someone as well who comes across as a masculine energy. So you can tell that he's logical, practical. He's left brain dominant, and also I would say that he's an extrovert. So for all these reasons, because I mean, being a performer, he seems like really at ease. Again, being in the limelight. So I would type Jay-Z as an ESTP, and again I would type Beyonce as an ESFP. And when you look at, let's say, how successful Jay-Z has been, I mean, right now he's worth like $1.3 billion. So these are people who are extremely wealthy, and also I know that their combined forces are really sort of like a power couple, really, when you think about it. And they're relatively young. I mean, Beyonce is just recently, she's 40 years old, and Jay-Z is 52 years old, and obviously they've been married since 2008. They have 3 children together. They're just still young. One strength of this relationship is that they're both very successful in their careers. So in other words, one is not upstaging the other. The other point as well is that they are, in terms of their finances, there's a balance there. Jay-Z is a billionaire. And Beyonce is a multimillionaire, so there is sort of an equality there. The other point also is that they come from humble beginnings. They know how much work and effort it takes over many years to get to their level in terms of success, and how much work it takes to actually maintain that level. The other point as well is that they are the street smart. So they're not the type of people, obviously, who have pursued higher studies, so they understand each other's sort of psychology that way. And in other words, I think that compared to maybe other couples that might have issues in terms of not be able to understand the other person's point of view, especially in their career, I don't think that they have this issue. But when you actually listen to, they were saying like in 2017, Jay-Z has admitted that he has been unfaithful to Beyonce. That is not too surprising in the sense that it's rare that relative young men. I mean, at the time we're talking about they got married in 2008. It happened about 10 years later. So it's difficult for most men, especially when they're that successful and that well seen, to remain faithful to their mates, and especially if they are sense perceivers, because sense perceivers are about freedom and movement. That's the theme of their life. So these are people who like to, things are different. They like to keep on exploring, and it's difficult for most of them to remain faithful to one mate, especially when opportunities are being offered to them on a regular basis. And I would not be surprised as the case for Jay-Z. Now, when you look at, let's say, Beyonce being a feminine energy, usually feminine energy are better at relationships, so they have more emotional intelligence. And so I would say that Beyonce is maybe less fulfilled in that relationship compared to Jay-Z, because again, I find that people who are the right brain dominant, and regardless if they're male or female, are the ones who are making more compromises to make this relationship work. The other aspect also is that I would say that the fact that their careers are so demanding is that they probably don't spend that a lot of time together. And when you think about it, is that sense perceivers already tend to have a short attention span. And if let's say, if you look at someone like Beyonce, who's an actress, a singer, songwriter, a dancer, I mean, to actually maintain this type of career, you have to be working easily 18 hours a day, 7 days a week to pull this off. And the same thing with, let's say, Jay-Z. So these are both extremely busy people. Even if they delegate certain tasks to employees, there's only 24 hours in a day. And when you think about it, in any area of your life where you don't spend time and energy usually does not flourish. So when they would have the time to spend with their children and spend with each other, so that long term may cause issues. And again, when it comes to the perceivers, they tend to have a short attention span, and the theme of their life is movement and freedom. So that long term may cause issues, because you're more likely to be tempted to to stray, because actually I said that Jay-Z has actually mentioned that they have marital issues, and he mentioned that in 2017, and that may actually be aggravated long term by not spending enough quality time and energy with each other. Another challenge when it comes to this power couple is the fact that they're so well known. In other words, the public is continuously scrutinizing them. So it's difficult for them to have privacy for themselves, but also for their children. So there is extra pressure when you obviously can't even make any mistakes, and also the fact that some facts might be distorted. So I think that also puts pressure on them to be able to remain together and have a healthy long-term relationship. So when I would look at all these factors, I would say that it's possible that they stay together for a long period of time, but these are the type of people who may have to downsize their careers to be able to spend more time together, spend more time on their children, and be able to keep that privacy. And obviously, because they're sense perceivers, they have to be mindful of the fact that they're the type of people who are less likely to stay together long term compared to, let's say, sense judgers, who are more traditional in their views and want to actually keep their families together. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this MBTI relationship analysis of Beyoncé Knowles and Shawn Carter by commenting below. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.